Yeah, I don't know if Dr. Pratibha, she wants to say something. She has raised her hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Pratibhavan, you want to say something? Maybe it's a mistake. That's okay.
Yeah.
लो अनुभव प्रभु प्यार का बाहों में वो बुला रहा वो करुणा कर दया का सागर स्नेह में सबको समा रहा कर लो अनुभव प्रभु प्यार का कर लो अनुभव प्रभु प्यार का कर लो अनुभव प्रभु प्यार का बाहों में वो बुला रहा वो करुणा कर दया का सागर स्नेह में सबको समा रहा स्नेह में सबको समा रहा आओ प्रभु शरण आओ प्रभु शरण
Soul and role. One of the causes of mental tiredness is that we get caught up in the roles that we play in daily life. To step back from our roles is to reclaim our inner power and peace of mind. I become aware of myself as an eternal star of light in the center of the forehead. I visualize myself as this pure, living energy. I am eternal. I can never die. I, the eternal soul, am a star of living energy, seated in the center of the forehead. My body is temporary. I, the soul, am eternal. My body is a costume. I, the soul, am the performer. My body is a vehicle. I, the soul, am the driver. My body is a machine. I, the soul, am the operator. My body is physical. I, the soul, am non-physical. I am spiritual energy. I, the eternal soul, am the spark of life that makes my body function. I sit in the center of the forehead, and from here I express myself through my physical body. I look through these eyes, just like a person looking through the glass of a window. I listen through these ears. My five senses bring information of my surroundings to me. And I, the eternal soul, receive this information, and I choose how I wish to respond. One day, my physical body will end, but I, the eternal soul, will go on. I will continue. I am eternal. I am beyond death. I am pure living energy.
Thank you, Pooja, and that was beautiful. So we are going to now start the next chapter. And just wanted to tell you that initially, 20 years back when we started this course, we used to have 10 days of course, and now we've tried to cram it into 8. And of course, it used to be 2.5, 3 hours long. So everything has kind of condensed. But today we're going to do, a little bit of 2 chapters, part of 2 chapters. So it will be a little bit faster in pace. So bear with me. Yeah. Can you make me host, please? Poojavet? BK Shubi. Okay, so up till now we have talked about thoughts, and we have, gone within. Now the journey is going to be upwards. So we're going to talk about the three worlds where we visit during this meditation. And often we souls, think, and this arises in our, mind, where do souls come from? Was there ever a time when I was not taking rebirth and I existed just purely as a soul? So let's see. The three dimensions we are going to talk about today is the physical, subtle, and incorporeal dimension. And an understanding is that there is such a time, and at that time we were in a different dimension or world, and it is beneficial to know about it and experience it in meditation. So we can only experience once we are knowledgeable about that. So let's start with the physical dimension. And, this physical or corporeal world, we all know because we live in it, in this embodied, soul, embodied form. Um, the characteristics of physical dimensions, we all know it's made up of light, sound, color, motion, there's change, there's time, because there are limitations. And this physical dimension is governed by physical and moral laws, where we embodied souls play our parts. And of course, there is nature, which is made up of 5 elements, including our bodies. There is sun, moon, star, planets, and so on. And it is a world of expression and experience. Of course, this is the manifest world. And in this world, we experience through our physical senses, isn't it? 5 physical senses primarily, and 3 subtle senses as well. But and it's a movie talkie world. There is movement, action, and sound also. And of course, the purpose of coming into this world, in this body, on this planet, in this manifest physical world is to express, to experience, and to enjoy some variety of experiences. And the soul is only able to experience through the body or enjoy and also express through the body. So it's a very, very relevant dimension for the soul to play its role. So we are actually, uh, belonging to some other world, and we'll talk about that. But we come into this physical dimension, take bodies, are born in families, we create these families and get so attached. But really, every lifetime, we have a new family, new children, new spouses, and everything. So imagine how many lifetimes we take and we create these families and relationships. Now, the soul is metaphysical, right? It cannot be seen with physical eyes. It doesn't have any physicality to it. It's energy form. So its home must also be beyond the boundaries of the physical dimension. So it's physical beyond physical earth, and it's beyond time and gravity and so on. So this is the physical dimension. Then there is something called the subtle dimension. So subtle dimension, it's the world It's a metaphysical world. There is light, color, motion, but there is no sound. There's no concept of time, no qualitative change. It's an utterly pure realm of, we see subtle bodies of pure souls. Even sometimes when you say, I saw an angel, this is a realm where angels live. It's a dimension of consciousness where visions of heaven, angels, etc. are seen. So angels are nothing but the astral light body. It's not the physical body. And it's sometimes called the silent movie world. So silent movie world means there is no sound but only action. And it's that dimension of consciousness where there is total purity of thought. And, when we want to exchange some information, it's through thoughts. And how do we experience this world is that we can travel there as a soul, because soul is not physical. So it's almost like you're directing your consciousness beyond the physical realm, which means with the help of thoughts. And really, we have traveled through thoughts, since our childhood, over lifetimes, every time. And it's like saying, if my son is living in Denver, all I have to do is to think about where he is, and I can see his, home, his bedroom, his kitchen, his family, everything. So it's almost like I'm traveling from here to Denver with just one thought. So it's very easy to really go to any dimension with the help of thoughts. So our bodies will be here, but we travel to a certain place with a consciousness. So we are directing our thoughts and the consciousness in that direction. And for all practical purposes, we would have visited that. So the light of the subtle world is not visible to the physical eye. And it is called the angelic realm. And we can also rediscover and experience the subtle world of pure thoughts in our meditation. So it's the physical world. Beyond that, beyond sun, moon, and light, all of those, there is, a zone of pure light, white light. It's called the subtle dimension. And then we have the incorporeal dimension. So further beyond the physical world of constant, change and noise and movement, and beyond the world of pure thoughts, which is the subtle world, there's a dimension of complete silence and stillness. And nothing changes there. There is no concept of time there. So this is the soul world, home of all souls, where each of us has come from that soul world. This is our original home, and we will eventually return there. And we come as a soul from this incorporeal dimension, take a body in this physical dimension where we want to express and experience and enjoy. And what are the characteristics of this world? Light and color, but neither sound nor motion. No action, no sound, right? A world of total stillness and light. So we are in a state of being. We are not doing at all, just being there. The world of total stillness and light, an absolutely pure realm. We can only go there with the purity of thought, words, actions, and all that. The soul has to be completely pure, an original home of all souls. All souls belong to that realm. It's sometimes called the world of silence, Nirvan Dham, Param Dham, Brahman, you call it whatever way you want to refer it to. So it's a dimension of subtle self-luminous, almost golden red light. And we souls are kind of totally absorbed in our own being, dormant. We're dormant there. And it's like a complete future plan of living expression inside us. It's like we are like seeds in this world. You know, it's almost like thinking of an apple seed. The seed will, one day grow and it'll have all the blueprint of how much, the apples will come out, how much tall, what quality of apples will be there, and so on. And even if the seed was closed in a sealed container for centuries, it would still, in its DNA or very nature, will have all that information of growth and tree and every information within the seed itself. So we are in our soul form in this world. We no longer have senses. We just are in a state of being. So, mind, intellect, everything is very, very dormant there. And we experience our soul form, a seed form there. And it's totally a blissful state to be in. So this is the third, dimension we visit during meditation. So what are the benefits of going home in meditation? So there are many, many benefits of going home, the soul world, in meditation, because we are able to experience rest and comfort. There's so much of security and peace, and there is really no place like home. So we rest, we recharge, right? So during meditation, when the soul goes to the soul world, it's able to get recharged. And perspective, right? So, the physical world of all of these relationships and roles, actions, reactions gives us perspective. So when we go to the soul world, our perspective changes from that limited fixation to unlimited perspective, that expanded awareness. So perspective completely changes, because here we feel very limited. We know we will die. We feel very scared of death and so on and so forth. But when you go to the soul world, the body's not there. You're getting a totally different, unlimited perspective that you're eternal being, right? Ajar Amar Avinashi Atma. Nothing changes. And of course, the benefits of going home in meditation is that God, the Supreme, is there. So we are able to experience connection with that Supreme Being of consciousness, right? So all these good things and many others, why we need to go home, or what are the benefits? So now the question arises, why should we know? So, the understanding of soul is not enough, because we require a reference for discerning what's good and what isn't. Right? So, we all have that knowledge that this is right, that is wrong. But do we have the power to tread on the right path? Sometimes we find ourselves doing those little things which are not right, not correct. It's not that we don't know. The conscience knows, but the soul power has diminished to that extent that we are not able to walk the right path. Right? So, a reference for discerning, God is the ultimate. Right? Always pure, truthful, right. And we need a source of power and pure energy. Right? We human beings have very limited power and energy. And when we need them, for most part, they're not even available. So we need a source on which we can depend completely, 100%. And He's always all powerful, ever pure. So we need that kind of energy. And an understanding of self alone is not enough for transformation. And we know that part. So we need that reference for right and wrong. And that is why we need to know God. So, what is God's form? So, what is God's form? So, we know that any entity that exists must have a form. So, God has many qualities, but they're formless. But the source of those qualities has a form. God is not only love, but the source of love. God is not only truth, but He's also the source of truth. So the soul, the soul, is a point of light, a conscient energy, living energy, surrounded by an oval-shaped aura. Similarly, the form of Supreme Soul is exactly like that. It's also a point of light. And we souls are actually made in God's image. So actually, when you start to understand yourself as a soul, an energy being, a point of light, then only you can begin to understand God, the Supreme Soul. So both soul and Supreme Soul have an oval form. They are almost the same size, but the difference between the soul and the Supreme Soul is in, I would say, degrees and intensity of qualities, the attributes of the soul. So God is separate and a distinct being. He's supreme, so He's only one. Rest everything is in the soul world is souls. And God is also incorporeal. He doesn't have a human body, and he never takes birth in a body. God never takes birth in a body. He's beyond the cycle of life and death. So there's some similarities and differences between soul and God. Similarities are same form and size. Differences, God is ever bodiless. So we both are beings of light. We both have mind, intellect, and sanskaars. We both are eternal and immortal, invisible, and we both have divine virtues and spiritual powers. But the difference is God is ever bodiless. So we take bodies on different births, but God is beyond the cycle of life and death. He's ever incorporeal, and he doesn't lose his energy because he doesn't take any body or doesn't play the part in this world drama. And God does not enter the cycle of birth and death. We forget our true nature, but God does not. Our virtues and powers are limited. God is the ocean of all virtues and powers. So in broad brush way, these are some similarities and differences. So what is God's name? So God's formal name is Shiva, which means point, seed, benefactor, right? Point of light. And seed, he is the seed of the human world tree. Kalpa Vraksh ka ye bij roop hai. All the information of the entire tree of the human world tree is in the seed. And he's also benefactor, which means kalyankari. He's the world benefactor. And we, informal name is Baba, of this incorporeal being, which is not having a body, but we call him Baba. And I just want to give you a little bit on this. When I was doing a lot of bhakti and devotion, I used to, have a temple at home, and it had so many different deities and gods. I used to think, and then, I would create an atmosphere, do agarbatti and puja and worship and all those, things. And I did want to go into the deep depths of all the processes that was required to know God, to find God, because I always knew that one needs to follow, or go into the depths. You can't just spread the surface to really get God. So I really did a very intense bhakti devotion. And what I found, and this is just personal to me, I'm not sure about others, but what I found was that I used to always have God, at a pedestal, and that I'm very low here. I never felt, oneness in that way. And I always felt I couldn't approach God. So here, when I came, I, felt that God is apparent, or any relationship, and that, uh, unless you have a relationship with God, you cannot develop love with him or her. And ever since I have developed a relationship of Baba with God, which means a parent, a father, or Ba means a mother. Anyway you see it, Baba is also grandparent, any relationship with God, then what happens is the remembrance becomes natural. It comes naturally to you. It's like saying, when I have a relationship with my spouse or my daughter or my friend, then it's the remembrance is very natural. It comes to you. You don't have to make effort. You only have to make effort to remember even deities and God, because we have never created any relationship with them. So when we call informally God as Baba, he's the incorporeal God, but Baba, then very naturally that relationship builds and we're able to remember him with a lot of love. And, there, it doesn't take any effort. So to me, this setup actually worked very well because I could then remember God without any, paraphernalia, just simple sitting and remembrance, a fond, loving remembrance of God. It was easy for me. So there are some names: point, seed, benefactor, and where does God reside? These are the names of the place, which is sweet silent home of all souls, Param Dham, Shanti Dham, Mukti Dham, Nirvana. The sixth element, Brahm element, Brahman. These are the places of residence, or same place with variety of names people call that place. So there are many, many attributes of God. In fact, they say that you cannot even, there's so many attributes of God that you can't even list, make a complete list. But these are broad brush again. He's the ocean of peace and love and truth and almighty, ocean of knowledge, merciful and forgiving, intellect of the wise, and so on. So these are some broad attributes of God. And then God's role. So God, plays a very important role. He is the remover of sorrow. He's the bestower of happiness, liberator. Like, people remember him in a variety of ways, isn't it? You've heard all of these: creator, purifier, right? Patit se pavan banata hai, sustainer, you know, supreme guide to take us back home, giver of inheritance of peace, love, happiness. He's the giver of knowledge, the giver of truth. He brings enlightenment, and the one who changes human beings into divine beings. So, so these are some of the roles we have listed here for God as God's role. So this is the next chapter we are going to go into, which is the Supreme Soul. Right? So give me a minute. So the next chapter is Supreme Soul. So why do we need to connect with the Supreme Soul? In meditation, the soul, first of all, we center ourselves and go within to connect to I, the soul, the consciousness, and then we connect to the Supreme Consciousness, which is up above in the soul world, to get the energy, to get the power. Yeah. So we all know that yoga is connection, and it's important to connect the soul with the Supreme Soul or God, because it is one of the most beneficial connection to experience. It's completely spiritual connection, entirely based on the power of mind. So, a good analogy is an electric connection, right? It is, yoga or connection with the Supreme is like connected to the spiritual power source. And once we make this connection, the light of awareness lights up very powerfully. The soul just lights up, that awareness. Yeah. So, we find that, when we are in body consciousness, it's like an insulating sheath. It's like a sheath covering the wire of the intellect, and it needs to be gone, or it needs to be peeled away. Otherwise, there'll be no conductivity. Otherwise, we will not be able to connect the soul with the Supreme. So the first step of connecting with the Supreme is stepping into the consciousness of soul, I, the soul. Then what we do is we direct our consciousness towards the highest energy of consciousness, which is the supreme power, the supreme soul. And we do that through our elevated thought power. So the supreme is the most pure source of spiritual energy. And, we are able to basically connect and recharge, re-energize the spiritual battery. Also, connecting with the Supreme Soul, helps us to experience eternity and empowerment. So we experience ourselves as eternal and imperishable beings. Because when we live in the body, the fear that I am this body or bodily being is not true. It is a false, image of myself. The real self is I, the soul, which is eternal and imperishable. And when we go to the soul world and experience the Supreme, we experience that eternal and imperishable nature of God. And then we realize, oh, this is who I am too, right? And we also absorb spiritual power from the Supreme. So Supreme's, basically energy empowers us, and we feel extremely empowered while connecting with the Supreme. Because a lot of these qualities and virtues and powers come directly when we are in the company, right? So it's then connecting with the Supreme Soul helps in purification, right? We've all done this experiment of magnifying lens and burning the paper. So this, we experience lightness as the heaviness of the heart and negativity of the mind are cleansed. When we are looking at the Supreme Consciousness, Supreme Soul, and are, meditating, so that power comes through the intellect, and intellect works as a magnifying glass and changes and burns a lot of negative sanskaars within us. So we become purified and renewed through the fire of yoga. The fire of yoga means intense meditation. We become purified and renewed. So the soul does become purified. And we absorb God's qualities by osmosis, right? So one side is the dry, the other side is the wet. So, in this physical world, we have all these vices. And on the other side, when we connect to God, these are all virtues. And so by osmosis, we see that all the qualities of God are coming within the soul. So the more time we spend with God, more qualities of God, more powers, and more virtues, divine virtues, all of them slowly start to come by the process of osmosis within the soul. And it said, as is the company, so is the color. You get colored by the company you keep. So the more company we keep of the Supreme Soul, which is God Himself, or Shiv Baba, then we basically get colored by all his qualities and virtues and everything. So all his attributes, the soul starts to get all of them. So when we connect with the Supreme Soul, it's almost like trusting the process, right? Because we can't see the soul, we can't see the Supreme Soul. They're both metaphysical, but we can experience them with the third eye, with the intellect. We can also experience, the powers, the virtues, the qualities, and you will find that you will see a transformation in yourself first, and then others around you will start to endorse your change, the transformation that is happening within you. So you have to trust the process first, and then you will see that you are going to experience it. So first, 1 minute. Excuse me. So you have yoga with Supreme Soul. You connect your intellect with the thoughts, with the mind, and you absorb all the qualities and everything from the Supreme that you need. And then you start to experience that. And you don't have to take my word for it. This is something which, all the souls who are still sticking around have experienced. They have all found a finite change in them, and they feel very good about it. So you will also start to experience that. So, relationships with God. There are a variety of relationships we experience with God. And really, sometimes, we miss out on some aspect of relationship with humans. And, sometimes we find ourselves having dependencies and expectations. But when we have relationship with God, then we find that it's almost unconditional from Baba, from God himself. And we also, when we remain in God's company, we learn that we don't have to always take, and just like God, we start to give in a relationship, so it starts to improve automatically. So much to learn when we have relationships with God. So God is the eternal parent of all souls. He is my maternal mother and father. He loves and accepts me unconditionally, sustains and protects me with love. So as a parent, Baba supports me. It's almost a living, breathing relationship which I experience with him. And he fulfills all the need of me, the child of him. He's my constant love as a supreme parent. And I feel that with his presence, my life has become very, very joyous. It feels very powerful, and it feels the strength. And I feel a sense of self-worth because he has instilled that experience in me. And, he is my supreme mother, and, totally accommodating. No matter what bad, good I do, he has unconditional acceptance for me. That is very, very important. Um, it's a love of God which is so pure, it empowers and completely, I feel, cleanses the soul. He's the Father who offers me protection, which a human being can only be, to a certain limit. He's unconditionally all powerful and protective, and he provides all the divine qualities. So it's up to me as a child how much of an innocent child I am, and how much the inheritance that my Baba is giving me, I'm claiming. And then we can have many, many relationships with God, teacher, Sadguru, supreme guide, friend, beloved, child, surgeon. I mean, name it and you can have it, any relationship. And these relationships are very fulfilling, and they're very important for spiritual development also. Um, it's almost, when you start meditation, it's your spiritual birth, a new birth. And, God being a parent, and all in all relationships, um, it it gives you so much that, limited bodily beings can never give it to you, never. And you will see that when you get into this, you will also have a living, breathing relationship with that incorporeal supreme Shiv Baba, you know. And this relationship with God will definitely, you will find, will bring self-esteem, a lot of dignity and love and respect, which you would have never experienced in any other relationship. And I'll leave it here, because this, you can continue to talk about this. So, nature of relationship between the soul and the supreme is a link of love. It's more than an intellectual connection. Love can be immediate or develop gradually. Love leads to transformation. Therefore, relationship with God can be a transformative experience, right? We have all experienced limited love in this physical world. But when we experience unlimited love of God, the transformative experience is exponential. It's a beautiful feeling. And, you're coming to the realization that you need help from the Supreme isn't a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. It is a sign of power, right? So, tips for success: cultivate your relationship with Baba. Try sharing your news and concerns with Baba before turning to a friend or relative for congratulations, understanding, or comfort. So, Baba is my best friend also. If, first, initially, over the years, if I used to have parties or what can I cook, make a menu. These days, my phone goes to Baba. Come on, help me make the, menu, or help me, prepare for this class, or help me do this. He's always there. He's a constant companion, you know. So you will see that he will never let you down, never let you down. Experience God as the spiritual sun. This is another way to meditate. Feel God's cool rays of peace, warm rays of love, and sparkling rays of the light of truth and beauty falling on you as you, God's beloved child, play your part on the earthly stage. Right? It's sometimes you can even feel yourself as the sunflower and God as the sun, and that as the sun is rising, your sunflower is just opening up and your face is towards God. And it's these are all variety of ways you can meditate, and but there is no feeling better than being a child of God. That feeling transcends all relationships, I feel. And Om Shanti. So this is the chapter we finished with both of them today, and this is just touching, the tip of the iceberg. But we just want to now uh, tell everyone that if you have any questions, please post it on, the general chat group. And in the meantime, I would request Pooja Ben to, take over and play the meditation commentary. In the commentary, I would, request Pooja Ben to play the video also, so that you can look at the video and see how to meditate. It's going to be a little bit longer commentary today because it's day 3, and I'm hopeful that you are learning how to meditate a little bit. And then she will play at least a paragraph of the song, and we'll go from there. Thank you. So let's share it.
Didi, I just realized that I'm not the host now, so I'll just disconnect and connect back, or can you just make me co-host?
Let's disconnect ourselves from everything around us and practice looking at ourselves. Ask yourself a simple question. Who am I? I, the creator of every thought, feeling, word, and behavior. I, the eternal being. I am the energy. I, the soul. Let me look at myself. Take your attention towards the center of the forehead and visualize a very subtle, shining point of light. Look at yourself, that point of light in the center of the forehead. The energy, the master, resides here and takes charge of this body. I, the being, in the center of the forehead, radiate God's purity to every cell of my body. My body is healed with God's energy. I, the being, am an embodiment of peace. Peace, the original nature of the soul. I am full of peace. I, the being, radiate God's love to everyone around me. Gently remind yourself I am a peaceful soul. I, the Divine Being, full of God's love, purity, and peace. Vibrations of peace radiate from me out into this universe. I, the soul, detach myself from this world and my body. Look at yourself, that tiny point of light traveling upwards. I, the soul, am rising above this planet. I am going home. Crossing the sun, the moon, and the stars. I, the soul, have reached home. It's a region of divine light, a land of complete stillness and peace. It's just peace and peace all around me. The soul world, my home. I see before me a very bright, shining point of light. My Father, God, the Supreme Power, just like me, another soul, very powerful, ocean of divinity and unconditional love. I, the soul, am sitting with God. God, the energy with whom I can experience all my relationships. God, my Father, my Mother, my teacher, my guide. God, my friend, my companion. God's unconditional love and powers are flowing towards me. I, the soul, am getting filled with God's love. God, the Supreme Power, is the ocean of peace. Peace, that one feeling the whole world is looking for. The ocean of peace is my Father. God's peace radiates from me to the entire world. It's reaching every soul who is looking for peace. I am a radiator of God's peace. It's just peace and peace all around me. The soul world, my home. I, the soul, am getting filled with God's peace. I am full of God's peace. I, the divine being, full of God's love, purity, and peace. If there's anything troubling me, a problem or a question, I can ask Him. God, my best friend. I share it with Him and I'm feeling light. I am His child. He is my friend, my companion, my teacher and parent. God is always with me. I, the being, radiate God's love to everyone around me. His power gives me the strength to heal my relationships. I, the soul, full of God's love and purity, now have the power to create unconditional happiness, health, harmony in my relationships, and heaven in this world. I, the soul, am now returning from my home to the world where I have come to play my part. Let me look at myself, that tiny point of light, now traveling back to the world, crossing the sun, moon and the stars, traveling towards the planet, I, the soul, have come back into this world, into my body, the place where I reside. The center of the forehead. I have come back to play my part, to fulfill all my responsibilities. But now I am full of God's knowledge, love, and purity. Om Shanti.
ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन। परमानंद का अनुभव कर, ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर, तू धन्य बना जीवन। ज्योति बिंदु।
Can you play the song a little bit longer? Unless there's some questions. Does anyone has a question? Okay. So that's fine. You know, I see some of you who have joined. I don't know if all of you have registered. So those who have not registered, do you think you will register for the course so that we have some of your information and we can join you in the WhatsApp group, and you can also receive emails, you know, for the handouts of the course. So please do register if you haven't. And I see some of you who have registered attending the course for the first time. So in that case, it is the first chapter and the second one builds on top of the first and so on. So some of the details you will be missing. We have, Pooja Ben has done the recording of the first and the second class. And what we will do is, if you request, she will be able to send you the link for you to be able to, you know, go through the first and the second class, because they are the foundation of the course, especially the first chapter and the second. So if you know, you haven't attended those, it is very imperative that you attend, because you will not be able to, you know, get the benefit of the third chapter and other chapters if you know, if you haven't attended the first and the second. So if there are no questions, then maybe we will end the class here, because I know many of you are working and have, taken out the time every day to come. And what we will do is we will see you again tomorrow at 7. Yeah. Thank you so much. Have the most, wonderful 24 hours with beloved Baba, God, the incorporeal soul, supreme. And we will see you again tomorrow at 7.
Thank
All right.
you. Om
Thank
Shanti.
you, Didi. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Baba.